India's frontline fighter jets, the Rafale and the Sukhoi 30 MKIs, enabled Indian Air Force to strike 11 Pakistani air bases and force Islamabad to seek a ceasefire after Operation Sindoor, even as the Indus Water Treaty still remains in abeyance.
Beggars can't be choosers. Please understand that. हमें अपनी कौम का पेट पालना है.
Now Pakistan is seeking Chinese J-35 stealth jets to save its strategic assets from an Indian strike. But in New Delhi, Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has also given the nod for the execution phase of the AMCA, India's own indigenous 5th generation stealth fighter jet. But that's not all. In a huge step, the Defence Ministry has opened up the AMCA execution to private industry. HAL will not be handed the contract on a platter. It will have to compete with the best in Indian defence manufacturing. A defence source was quoted in the media saying, quote, HAL has the advantage of experience, but they will have to bid along with the industry, either individually or in a consortium with others. They will have to fight it out, unquote. This also means that the AMCA design has been finalized and sealed. There may only be superficial alterations anymore, but the first of 5 AMCA prototypes will fly by 2028 with 2034-35 induction. Now, Pakistan wants to use this window to reassert its aerial capabilities and is seeking swift deliveries of Chinese J-35 to level this playing field. Now, the world witnessed how Indian military beat Pakistan's Chinese air defenses at multiple locations and hit terror camps in 9 different cities inside Pakistan.
कि आप जवाब ना दें, उन्होंने 9 और 10 की रात के ऊपर पाकिस्तान पे मिसाइल अटैक किए, नूर खान बेस पे और मल्टीपल बेसिस पे.
Islamabad hopes the J-35 jet will give it similar capabilities to target Indian assets, something which Pakistan military failed to do so during the recent India-Pakistan war. In fact, the portrait presented by Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif to newly promoted Field Marshal Asim Munir is also fake. Meant to showcase Pakistan's military prowess, this image is from an old Chinese military drill. This embarrassing oversight once again highlights how Pakistan is using fake propaganda to hide from the humiliating hammering it received at the hands of India.
हिंदुस्तान ने अपने बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल अभी लॉन्च किए हैं. एक नूर खान एयरपोर्ट पे गिरा है.
The AMCA will ensure that India remains the dominant military force in South Asia and the Indian Ocean region. Now, private industry players including Tata and L&T will compete with the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited in what is India's most ambitious defense manufacturing project till date. The AMCA project will also see the development of India's own fighter jet engine in collaboration with either France, the United Kingdom, or America. Having rejected the idea of acquiring the American F-35 or the Russian Sukhoi 57, India is putting all eggs in the AMCA basket. So we will take a look at what makes Indian AMCA special and can compete and even beat the world's leading stealth fighters today, the American F-35, Russian Sukhoi 57, or the Chinese J-20. Meanwhile, Beijing's readiness to provide its J-35 at discounted prices also shows the CCP is worried over India's growing military edge over Chinese puppet Pakistan. All Pakistani claims of shooting down any Indian fighter jet, let alone the Rafale, have been fact-checked to be fake by military experts.
5 fighter jets shot down. Where's the evidence for that, sir?
It's all over the social media.
It's become increasingly clear India holds the edge in South Asia, and the AMCA could just make it a one-sided contest. So it's an all-out race now. Can the J-35 enable Pakistan to close the gap on India? And will India's AMCA be ready in time for the next conflict? The Sukhoi 30 MKI and Rafale easily beat Pakistani air defenses. Even though these 4th generation aircraft remain all stars, the battlefield is quickly transforming. China is already operating more than 200 5th generation aircraft, mostly the J-20, and has even stationed a few J-20s in Tibet, threatening India's northeastern frontier. In the face of China's rapid advancements with its 6th generation prototype already flying, India must soon take its own next big step in aerospace manufacturing with the AMCA. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has sanctioned a path-breaking implementation model for India's lone 5th generation fighter program, the AMCA. The stealth fighter has been developed by Indian Aeronautical Development Agency. AMCA is set to provide a huge jolt to the defense manufacturing ecosystem in India, opening the doors for Indian private enterprises to become truly global players capable of manufacturing world-beating aircraft. So HAL is not the automatic choice. While HAL has the advantage of experience, resources and manpower, this decision is expected to give it a shot of urgency and accountability. Now, in terms of sales, HAL is the 43rd biggest defense manufacturing company in the world and only one of 3 Indian companies in the top 100, along with Bharat Electronics in 67th and Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders in 94th. Arguably, the only thing holding HAL back is speed and innovation, particularly when India is confronting a two-front war threat. And this is what the government hopes to instill with the AMCA project. India cannot afford delays, as were witnessed with the Tejas program, to repeat. On the other hand, Chinese Air Force stands as the largest in the Indo-Pacific region with 1,300 4th-generation fighters and quickly expanding 5th-generation fleet, a US report recently stated. So the need for the AMCA is urgent. It's India's response to future air warfare, a 25-ton twin-engine stealth fighter with an internal weapons bay, divertless supersonic air intakes, and radar-absorbing design. These stealth features arguably will render it almost invisible to enemy radar. The aircraft can carry 1,500 kilograms in internal weapons bay and 5,500 kilograms of weapon arsenal on external hardpoints. It has 6,500 kilograms of internal fuel with scope for long-range, deep penetration missions. The project has been funded with 15,000 crore rupees by Cabinet Committee on Security in March 2024. The induction into the Indian Air Force is scheduled for 2034-35, but will that be soon enough? Now, the AMCA will be produced in 2 different variants. The initial AMCA Mark 1 will have the General Electric F414 engine, which is the same one that will drive the next generation LCA Tejas Mark 2s. HAL is already in advanced discussions with the American company to produce these F414 engines domestically in India, thus securing the supply chains and enhancing national manufacturing capability. The second variant on the AMCA Mark II will be even more potent, with a new engine jointly developed with a foreign engine maker. Leading the race is French engine maker Safran, along with British Rolls-Royce and the American GE Aerospace. This new engine, likely in the 120 kilonewton thrust category, is likely to provide super cruisability, flying at supersonic speeds without the use of afterburners. Now, this reduces chances of detection without compromising mission objectives, and this is a characteristic of pure 5th-generation fighter jets. So with this dramatic change, the Defense Ministry model is providing a level playing field to public and private firms, and the highest bidder will win the contract, guaranteeing the best capable partner to handle AMCA production. Now, this should attract big private firms like Tata Advanced Systems, Larsen & Toubro, as well as Bharat Forge, all of whom have been developing capacity in defense manufacturing industry. So will we see an Indian aerospace titan take its first steps? Will we get to see an Indian Boeing or an Indian Lockheed Martin? Now, Bharat is also pushing its own technological frontiers. Hyderabad's VEM Technologies could be roped in to construct the AMCA airframe with advanced, locally sourced composite materials. VEM Technologies recently handed over the first indigenous Tejas Mark 1A airframe, and AMCA could be next in line. This indicates India is not merely assembling, but actually designing world-class stealth technology from ground zero all the way up. While the Tejas Mark 1As and Tejas Mark 2s will be used to increase squadron strength, AMCA is needed to ensure that India does not fall behind China, particularly when stealth fighters like J-20s and J-35s are rolling out in huge numbers. These Chinese aircraft may soon dominate the skies both along the line of actual control and above Pakistan, threatening to tilt the power balance in this region. Operation Sindoor was an eye-opener. India's current fleet managed to beat Pakistan's Chinese air defenses at will, but the future is for stealth, speed, and situational control. Now, the AMCA will equip the Indian Air Force with wherewithal to be first to strike and remain invisible. The AMCA project is not merely a defense platform, it's a national milestone. By creating and producing the fighter jet domestically, India inches closer to genuine Atmanirbharta or self-reliance in defense manufacturing. Now, the ADA will issue an expression of interest to companies to partner with the development and execution phase shortly, and the countdown for India's fifth-generation fighter era has truly begun. As India gets ready to make this jump, one thing is certain: the era of stealth has arrived, and AMCA is India's passport to dominate the skies. But what do you believe? Should India just bet on the AMCA, or should India also buy a couple of squadrons of proven stealth fighters like the Sukhoi 57 or the F-35? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button, and subscribe to Inconnect News.